Silent Night, Lowly Night, this is the Silent Gamer for Fun, JGM ShadowGames, and as I promised on the previous, content creating this jump assemble that I'm going to create a jump assemble tier list, most of the heroes, and as per usual, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more gaming contests like this. Don't forget to click the bell button as well for you to know when I will be uploading the next video, and also you can now donate to my Ko-fi in the description below if you can. There are no forcing anything yada yada. And as per usual, enjoy the show. And also the closed beta test of the jump assemble in the Philippines will end on November 28th, November 20, and also I really don't know what time, but we'll see. But it's going to end on November 20. Exactly November 20. Which is, I don't know how time works. Maybe it's today. For us, it is today, but for others, it will be maybe 98 still. But I really don't know how the time zone works. But the Jumbo Symbol has ended on November 20, and this year, and I hope like they will be able to smooth the gameplay, because they need to prioritize the smooth gameplay first, because it is very lag. It became worse after the update, which is kind of sucks. But anyways, the first one is Andy. His skill is very useful. Like, what's the most unique thing about Andy is because he has no death counts. Like, honestly, there's no, even though he died, he's just turned into a very, very circle thing, and he's just rolling around, and it doesn't count as a death count. Like, honestly, when you kill, it will be zero deaths, regardless, because it is pretty obvious, like, he is undead. That's why there are no deaths, even though you manage to defeat him, there will be no deaths, and so on and so forth, just like that. And his skills is very unique, especially when he's, what's the interesting things about this jump assemble? It has some, compatibility, like synergize. If he is synergize, if one of our teammates is playing Fuko, when they're together, then it has some, a little bit of buff or synergy effects, but nothing problem at all. But overall, in terms of very, I'm just gonna say A plus, like, in terms of, because even though he is a tank, he's kinda tank, like, honestly. It is up to the players to how to use it anyways, but for me, it is pretty effective if I get, to level up the enemy. Sadly, Boa, even though Boa has unique stance, like, if you manage to hit them a lot, they will turn into stone, which is kind of fits to her character. It has sad, like, he's gonna get defeated by Luffy's this two. Like, honestly, this two has immunization to stun. Like, when when I use Boa Hancock and fight a Luffy, the stun effect won't work on Luffy. Like, honestly, it has zero stun effect. Like, she's pretty dead. Like, even Fushiguro can manage to defeat her if the Fushiguro has fast hands. But sadly, she is there on the B tier. Sadly, Frieza Frieza is a annoying character, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I'm gonna put him on A, because his death ball is pretty clutch. Like, it has a burning effect. Like, there's also his, crowd control. I think not crowd control. His stun, like, can stun. He can make the character float. I don't know what stun it is, what skill it is. It was second or third, but when he managed to float someone, it will be pretty GG for someone, because he has a passive effect. Like, when he uses a spell twice, he will basic attack you with a death beam once. He will his empowered basic attack will turn into a death beam. Like, honestly. And Fuko is kind of C. Like, honestly, for me, she is pretty useless. Like she's pretty useless when capable in terms of capabilities. Yeah, she is a support, but she's pretty easy to get killed. Like honestly, she's very soft to kill. Like she needs Andy or a other characters that can sustain damage and fight. Those fighter types like Luffy, Tanjiro, Goku, like those characters. Even Nezuko can manage to help her because her stun is pretty useful. Like her unlock is very RNG style. Like honestly, like there's a chance like it will get a meteor or it will get a box of, I don't know how her skill works. Like it is very confusing for me. Gaara is maybe Gaara is an S, like maybe an S or A, maybe an A plus. Or not. Maybe S. Like he's a tank mage. He's a very, but the yeah, I think it's gonna be A plus. Even though his skills are very S tier, his basic attacks are so wow. Like his attack are melee, which is kinda confusing. Like he is a sand, he using sand as a range type. Like why they make Gaara using a why they make Gaara a melee character. Like melee is pretty useless for him. Like he can get easily killed by Usopp and Uryu. Like honestly, he can easily get clapped by those. Even Nobara can manage to kill him, and even Nezuko if her items are done right. Like most heroes can manage to kill each other if you manage to meta it in the right way. Because what's the annoying part in this closed beta is some players are acting they are the main character. Like in terms of how they meta, their metas are out of place. Like honestly, like the metas are basing like a Mobile Legends style. Like honestly, it's kind of disgusting. But anyways, it is still Gara is still fun, but it is kind of ruined by, you know, incompetent teammates. Goku, the classic Goku, because this one has his ultimate, his transformation is Kaioken, and his ultimate is the Kamehameha. Yeah, this is way different from the Super Saiyan Goku. And if done right, also the items, if done the meta right, the players do, if the player really knows how to read, it is pretty easy to, you know, to modify your items, what to build. Like you don't need to rely on the builds based on what the devs put there. You can meta it as long you know how to read. Like honestly, it's pretty disgusting. Like how the players, you know, ruin some characters. Like their items are out of place. What the heck? But Goku is pretty, you know, as long he doesn't get, because the downside of his Kaioken after the duration of his Kaioken, he will instantly get weak and his movement will become slow. Like it is kinda reminds me of Blitzcrank, like that type of style. But he's not hooking someone or like that. It's just he's very unique. In his Kaioken is a clutch if done right. Like you need to time your Kaioken and also your Kamehame wave. Goku, his form will, you know, charge him up. Like he has a skill that can charge him, and after that, and his ultimate is a teleportation Kamehameha, like which he used it on Cell. If you watch the BZ Dragon Ball Z, he used it on Cell. Like he used that version of Kamehameha. Like he teleports and he unleashes the Kamehameha, and also behind the enemy as well. And both of their Kamehamehas will push the player away, which is kind of clutch sometimes in terms of clashing. But the worst part of it, during this, after the updates of the jump assemble on the previous week, it became so laggy. Like honestly, the frame instantly drops for some reason. Like even though the graphics are very low, everything is low except for the FPS. I think this is one of the sketchiest closed beta that I've played, because most of the closed beta I've played, even though there are some bugs or frame drops, it still remains on a 60 FPS, like honestly. Next one is, yeah, Goku is a S. This one is way more better than his. It really depends of how you use him. Anyways, but this is from my perspective of my journey of playing the whole closed beta test of the Jump Assemble, and based how my teammates work, which is they're also kinda dumb sometimes, which is kinda embarrassing. And next one is Inosuke. Inosuke is kinda B. Even though his ultimate is, you know, tracking enemies, like he used it on when he attempts to find the spider lady. Like he puts the blades on the side, on each side, and then he puts his hand in a horizontal or vertical. Like he's tracking the enemies when his ultimate is tracking enemies, and also it has a second activation, which, you know, if you it is kinda reminds me of Twisted Fate, but the difference of Twisted Fate, he teleports while Inosuke is rushing. He's running very fast like Sion. That's how I see it. But still kinda sucks that he's still getting defeated easily by other characters one-on-one, which is kinda embarrassing sometimes. Next is Lance Crown from Marshall. Andy and Fukov are from Undead Unlock, which is you can watch it in, which is pretty obvious now. There's anime already, which also Lance is also has an anime now, Marshall, which is kind of sucks, like Marshall hasn't been appeared yet, but I hope like if they release another closed beta, I hope like Marshall, Ichigo, especially those main characters of their own mangas slash animes, like they need to appear like pretty obviously. He is kinda A. Here is not is he's B. He's not really, you know, some very unique characters, some sorts. Nah. It's A. Because you need to really know how to use his skills, like honestly. The easiest one to use his skill was his ultimate. His ultimate was the magnets, like those pillars, like they make you stun for a little bit, then the last pillar will crash on you, which is kind of useful. Like when the enemy is stunned, like it is pretty obvious, like he is a support, and also he can go mid, he can also go in the middle, but he is pretty way more useful in a support lane, because Oreo and Usopp or Nobara can, you know, free hit, and they're pretty useful. Goku and these two Gokus and Andy are top lane, or what should I say, dual lane, or I call them top lane most of the time, but it's called dual lane because, you know, the maps can be switched out. If you're on the opposite side of the team, they kinda switch, like the top and bottom kinda switch. That's why they call it a dual and dragon lane. The dual lane is pretty obvious. It is kind of pretty obvious, like how the dual lane works. They go solo, while Frieza can go in a support way also. He can also go mid, but mostly he's mostly also mid and support, mid lane and support lane. Gaara also is also mid and support lane, but mostly he is mostly mid because he needs to level up fast. Like the support lane is, you need to meta it in a way, while Lance Crow is a mid and support as well. Boa is only a mid lane character, which is kinda irony. And Inosuke is a jungler, and there's no way to meta him, like honestly. Because some people try to meta him, it ends in a very embarrassing way, honestly. And Fuko is a support lane. that's it. And next one is Luffy, the 2 years version of him. He's kind of a S, which is which is also kind of very sketchy, like because these two are in a gacha style. Because you need to acquire them through a gacha style. Like honestly, to a gacha style. Yeah, you need to gacha them. But thankfully, the missions during the closed beta are very generous. Like it's pretty obvious, like it is a closed beta. That's why they generous on giving free tickets and yada yada. But when this officially released, good luck to everyone. That's only the worst part of this Japa symbol. Like it is very going on a route of a Genshin Impact style, which is kind of pay to win, and also kind of very disgusting. Yeah. I'm just being honest here. And next one is Luffy. This Luffy, his ultimate is a Haki Kongan. And most of his abilities are Haki now. While this one, Luffy, is kinda of a plus. Like his ultimate is you need to use the, I think not the ultimate, his ultimate was the axe one. Maybe? Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, no. Yeah. His ultimate was the, I think his ultimate was the gear third. Yeah. The gear third. There's no second gear, which is kinda sucks because his second gear can be acquired through a mission, which is very difficult because you need to team up with Usopp, which is kinda embarrassing because most of the randoms don't pick Usopp all the time. And also I don't have friends because I don't want to, because I prefer playing this on solo because it's way more fun, because I'm done of finding friends in a MOBA game, in a multiplayer game specifically, because they tend to left after a very short time because they have a busy life. Honestly, like video games is just a hobby for them. For me, it's a passion. That's why I tend to avoid accepting friends, because most of them are doing this because it's just a hobby. Because playing video games is just a hobby for them. So anyways, let's go to next one, which is Majin Buu. It is kinda B. He is useful, but he can easily get overwhelmed by high damage characters, like such as Andy. Those melee characters, like because Majin Buu is a support lane only also, which is kinda sucks. The lanes here are duel, jungle, middle, ranger, and support. The ranger and support are kinda the dragon, and the support is stay supports. The ranger lane is called a dragon lane. Just like that. His ultimate is a charge one, like he charges up and he explodes, but he's not doing the Vegeta thing. He's charging up, but the only downside of that, like he can get stunned. Like some characters can get you stunned, like Frieza, Lance Crown, and also they can stun you, and especially also the Luffy. They can easily get you cancel out your Majin Buu ultimate, and Goku as well can also push you out by using his Kamehame wave. Megumi Fushiguro. He's kinda of a A+, because sometimes he can get overwhelmed by other characters such as the jungler in the duel lane, but he can fight the middle as long as it is not Gaara, which is the suck part. Because Gaara can spam his skills a lot, but his downside was he is a melee character. Megumi is also a melee character, but most of his skills relies on his ultimate, his domain expansion. And that's it. Next one is Minato Namikaze. He is kind of an S. He's an S for me because you need to be good on playing him as well. You need to really good at him on playing him. That's why I don't pick him most of the time because his skills really need to be precise and just also he's a jungler. He's a jungler character and there's no other way to meta that. Which is kinda sucks because most of players kinda meta their characters, which is very annoying and also very embarrassing. Like, it's so impractical to meta a jungler character. Especially when you're attempting to change the lane of your jungler. Like what? That's so very dumb and so petty. But also it is kinda sucks here because the crab mentality and the gatekeeping and the out of place, they're they're just egotistical. Like honestly, in the closed beta test, this region, yep, they're pretty egotistical, which is kind of embarrassing sometimes. And next one is Naruto from Shippuden, because there are also two of them as well. Well, this one when he dies, he turns into a Ninetales. But the sad part of it is the Ninetales you cannot able to control him. It is very different from Sion from Wild Rift. But he is pretty annoying as well. Like honestly, go Naruto the Shippuden version of Naruto is also very annoying as heck if done right. Because the Shippuden Naruto is the Naruto Shippuden version is a dual lane, which is solo lane for if you want to be specific. They are solo lane because Goku, Luffy, and Andy are solo lane characters. And also this one also is also solo lane, but he is a plus because he can easily get killed, but he's pretty useful because he can, he can tank some hits if because there are some characters kinda meta their character to turn it into a tank sometimes because if there are no tank heroes such as Majin Buu or Goku or Andy specifically as well, they tend to meta it and turn it into a tank character. This is also very useful because they're eating the basic attacks and the damage sometimes like it's nothing. That's why it is up to the ranger characters. And next one is Nezuko Kamado from Demon Slayer or Kimetsu no Yaiba. And also, she is a jungler character, but oh my god, she is so OP if done right. And also, if your team is also good at looking at the map, because not really sometimes, most of the time, and even in ranked as well, like players don't have a map awareness, like they have zero map awareness, and they're also good at blaming other players for their fault, even though it is their majority their fault. Which is kinda very interesting because her ultimate is a transformation when he turns into a mature one. Like how she did it in the season what was it? Yeah, season the red light district arc of the Kimetsu no Yaiba when he managed to decimate Daki. Yeah. She's pretty OP as long she has activated her ultimate. And as long also you meta her items because the basic items like the devs give to their heroes are kinda sometimes not effective very well. In Nezuko, you need to meta her very well. And next one is a ranger character called Nobara Kugisake from, Jujutsu Kaisen, just like Fushiguro. Which is also kind of embarrassing because Itadori has not yet been released yet also to the first closed beta here in the Philippines. Which is kind of sucks. But Nobara is a S because her ultimate is the snapping one. Like if you hit the character 6 times and after that you activate her ultimate, it is a huge chunk of damage. Like honestly, he is kinda of a Twitch from Wild Rift or League of Legends, whatever you called it. Once you activate that her ultimate, it's pretty GG. And also when you item her to the one like similar to Runaan's Hurricane from League of Legends, she can instantly stack the other characters as well due to the dual bolt. Yeah, to because of a extra bolt attack from the item. And next is Orihime. Orihime is kinda also a C, which is kinda sucks. It sucks like her ultimate is a triangle. Her ultimate is a triangle shield, but it is kind of, impractical because it can get easily bypassed by using a flash or just move around. Like, I'm just hoping like they change her ultimate to a Chronos style. If you don't know Chronos is, for those who don't know, maybe Dark Void. Yeah, Void Walker or I don't know what's the name of the Void character in Dota 2 now, but I call him Chronos because his ultimate is stopping time. I hope like they change her ultimate to a stop time, like honestly, because it was way more useful and also very fits to her character as well because her character can control time. Like what? They need to change her ultimate to a spear, Chronos spear, because it is pretty useless. Her ultimate is pretty useless. If they also add a mode, I hope like they add a mode just like similar to the Warcraft 3 Bleach versus One Piece or Fight of Characters, like that type of style of mode. Like, first to score 150 kills, like they win instantly, and there are also like events like 1-on-1, 3v3 and 5v5, like which is kinda, very, I know it will be very difficult to create, but I hope like they, just a suggestion, like they create a Bleach versus One Piece style of a mode similar to the Warcraft 3. Not only exclusive to the Bleach versus One Piece, but the mode that the Warcraft 3 there was called Bleach versus One Piece, even though there are Naruto characters, like honestly. Or maybe call it characters versus characters, like CVC. If they know Warcraft 3, but I don't know if the developers know Warcraft 3. Or the modes of the Warcraft 3, such as characters versus characters, CVC, or Bleach versus One Piece, or you can call it BVO. And next is Rukia. Rukia is just a recently released character from last week, like honestly. Yeah. Which is kinda sucks. But also she is pretty effective as well. Because I tried her, even though it gets laggy when you get in a clash mode today, when a 5v5 clash battle, it is kinda sucks, but her ultimate is pretty useful, like he can instantly freeze characters. But I hope if they create another character of Rukia, I hope they also get the 1000-year Blood War of Rukia as well, because the 1000-year Blood War of Rukia as well has different skills as well now, and also she has now a Bankai, which is gonna be pretty useful in a battle, especially in a 5v5 clash. And next one is Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke is a S because he is a jungler character, and also Rukia is also a jungler character. There's no way to meta her as well. And also Sasuke has no other lane. Also, he is also just only a jungler. But he is pretty clutch when he is managed to farm well and managed to gank characters well, because his ultimate is the Raijin Thunder. It's just the when the dragons are crashing down to the ground like that. I call it Raijin Thunder. Or just call it a Lightning Thunder. Or Lightning Thunderclap. That's his ultimate. Unfortunately, there's no, not yet how do you call that? He has no Susanoo, but I think they're planning to create another Sasuke character which is based from which the ultimate will be the Susanoo one, which is kinda pretty interesting. And next one is Shinobu. Shinobu is also a jungler character, but she has a unique ability to target someone. When you mark someone, the poison will increase much further, and the damage is also enhanced if you're attacking the mark character that she decided to mark, like, because her butterfly poison is very very OP, like, if done right, especially if your team is also knows how to look at the map and also to help you to gank as well. It's pretty easy to win. And next one is Tanjiro. Tanjiro is very OP still, even though there are some problems now to his skill after the update, because every time I manage to skill once, you need to basic attack, like there's no other way, like your skills cannot be pressed unless you do a basic attack, which is kind of very 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 annoying as well, because his attack speed is so very slow. Like, for a Kimetsu Yaiba character, his attack speed is way more slower than Nezuko, even though Nezuko's items doesn't have a attack speed enhancement as well. But Tanjiro is pretty OP, especially when you manage to max his 4 earrings, because his max stats of his style was a earring style. When he managed to get a 4 earrings because of managing to hit a character with his skill, he can do the Hinokami no Kagura, which is very OP. And also Tanjiro can also eat a lots of damage as well if you manage to item him with lots of protection and armor and magic resistance. He's pretty OP. And also he's only a solo lane character or dual lane. Solo or dual lane, because dual lane is a term used here in the Jump Assemble, while solo lane is the term used in League of Legends. And next one is Chopper. Chopper is pretty useful. He's way more useful as a support, as he is only a support character, which can go very well if he managed to team up with a range character such as Nobara, Usopp, and Uryu. And also, his ultimate was the monster form. And his skills was based from his 2-year skip arc. Then next one is Uryu. Uryu is pretty S+ as well, because if you done right his ultimate, especially in a 5v5 clash, it is pretty clutch to eliminate all enemies, like, very well. Like, his skill also, he has a skill also, like, that can landmine and also stun the character, and also he has a shower rain, which is also very annoying as well. And also he can dual and enough basic attacks, like he can shoot twice. And then next one is Usopp. Usopp is pretty OP as well. If man in a late game, if he managed to max his items, and it is pretty OP, like, because his passive skills can, he's using a star explosion, but he doesn't spam a star explosion, but his passive his basic attack will turn into a star explosion. Then after that, there's a cooldown, or maybe a basic attack, because it is very difficult to see like how long the cooldowns here, or there's a cooldown or what. But I think it is a cooldown effect. It is a cooldown, like his star explosion enhanced basic attack has a cooldown. But his ultimate like is form of a green bull. Of a green bull, which is kinda irony because there's an admiral also called Green Bull. Which is also very reminds me of Ash from League of Legends, like which can instantly stun a character if you manage to get hit it with his ultimate. But even though without his ultimate, he's pretty useful because he has a slow effect. Like he's pretty annoying as well. But I think I need to change this also to Nobara as well. I think these three rangers are so OP if done right, and also if done your items right. But I hope like they need to enhance smooth the gameplay first. Like they need to low end friendly that, because there's a lot of MOBA games that are low end friendly, like Wild Rift, Mobile Legends. Those games can be low end friendly. Like honestly, they need to enhance though. They need to smooth things out, like because there's no lag on those games as well. I'm willing to wait, but I'm just hoping like when they officially, even though I will get complaints, I will have complaint again because of how rugged the the gameplay will be in the next closed beta. I'm still hopeful like they will be able to smooth things out in the official release. Like they need to smooth the gameplay first before adding other heroes, because even though there will be a lot of unique characters, if the gameplay and if the game is very laggy AF, even though the internet is fine and there's no problem, all of them are set to low or whatever, and most of the games I managed to put it on high settings, but I haven't yet experienced a very 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 huge frame drop, like honestly. And this is my tier list of the jump assemble. My jump assemble hero tier list. I hope in the next closed beta they will be able to add Marshall, Ichigo, and Itadori. Like they need to add those characters as well. Well, that's it for now. See you in the next closed beta. And as per usual, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more gaming contests like this. And also don't forget to click the bell button for you to know when I will be uploading the next video. And you can now donate to my coffee in the description below if you can. Don't force yourself. You're gonna regret it. You need to prioritize yourself first and your problems first before helping others. This game has a lot of potential. Like I'm hoping like they will be able to fix those problems. Like they need to fix the balancing issues of the ranked games. The ranked games, they really need to fix that as well, because there are some annoyances as well, such as the ranked game, you can only allow to ban one hero only per team, which is kind of embarrassing. They need to change it to a 3 heroes. You can ban 3 heroes per team. Like honestly, like there's already a lot of them, and most of them are, and some players as well are so dumb to ban, like they banning characters that can be easily to kill. Like they're not banning these characters like they need to ban these characters. They're way more annoying. And especially also Gaara, like they need to ban also Gaara as well if they want to win as well. Like Gaara is also an annoying character as well if done right. But mostly they need to ban Nezuko and Tanjiro, because both of them are the most OP ones. Both of them are the way overpowered ones in terms of it, which is kind of funny. Like the Kimetsu Yaiba characters are, I think they're the only ones that are OP, because because Inosuke is pretty yada yada. But I hope they're gonna be able to add also Zenitsu. And also they make also Inosuke very useful as well. They need to adjust their character heroes as well. But they need to prioritize the smoothing of the gameplay. They need to smooth the gameplay first before, doing another closed beta test. And also I hope like the developers also read those important ones, like they don't need to read those other people's like they just trolling and yada yada. I hope like they read those concerns like that are legitimate and make sense. Like they make this a low end friendly game, like because League of Legends, Dota, they are low end friendly. Like they don't need a high end specs, like honestly. And Wild Rift and ML don't need also doesn't have need you don't need also to have a high end to play them smoothly in 60 FPS. Like both those games can be played on 60 FPS with no frame drops in a 5v5 clash. Even though there will be a lot of minions, there are no lags, no frame drops. Frame drops is way more sense because the internet is very fine. Like the internet is fine. The frame drops very drastically getting turned into a 1 FPS at a time. Sometimes it stops. Like it stops moving, which is kind of very annoying. And that's all. And see you in the next game, honestly. And I already out made an outro and just adding some adding some suggestions. And bye bye.